If someone wanted to understand my taste in manga without having to look through my entire collection, here's some series that I will put in my starter pack. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back in another video. Alright, y'all. So today we're going to be doing my manga starter pack. So this isn't necessarily my top favorite manga of all time or anything like that. This is actually just me putting together what I believe is a totality of my taste in manga. So if you went through my shelf, basically you will see little bits and pieces of each one of these series that I'm talking about today. And that's what I want to showcase. I just wanted to showcase different series that encompass my entire taste in my collection, because since I started collecting manga physically, my taste has grown a good amount. So I just wanted to share with y'all to see what my taste is without having to go through my entire collection. Because right now I have over 600 volumes. That's a lot. So I narrowed it down to 8 that basically describe a specific type of series that I enjoy. So let's get started. So the first one is Full Metal Alchemist. So with Full Metal Alchemist, this is my basically love for shonen, love for action, love for fights, but I still need some character and I still need some story within my fights. It's not just all about fights. So with Full Metal Alchemist, that's basically encompassing my beginning of manga, really, because when I started out reading like a lot of normal people. I started reading Shonen Jump stuff. So what does Shonen Jump primarily have? They have a whole bunch of just action, battle action, tournament series, and it's just amazing. So to encompass all of that, I was like, you know what? What is one of my favorites that really has everything? It has incredible action, but I've always loved some of the backstory, and I've always loved some of like I guess you could say like filler stuff in between the fights, the training arcs and whatnot. So I've always loved that kind of stuff. So what really encompasses all of that? And for me, it's Full Metal Alchemist, because for this, you have amazing action, an amazing power system, but you also have incredibly talented storytelling. I mean, you really get absorbed with all the different characters that are in Full Metal Alchemist. So that's what this is representing. All of my battle action series that I love the fights, I love the action, but I like my basically I call them filler because it's like when they're talking, transitioning. That's what I call it, but obviously it's not filler. That's just my own name for it, but I love it, and that's what Full Metal Alchemist, at least for me, that's what it represents in my collection. Now, sticking on my action, we have a different series, and that is actually JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So with this one, I have volume 1 of was this first one, Phantom Blood. It's been a while since. So first is Phantom's Blood, but obviously I'm talking about all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, all 7 parts. So I'm just showcasing right now in my hand volume 1 of Phantom's Blood, the first part, but that's where it started for me. That's part 1 is actually one of my favorite parts. But so this is not, it's a little bit different from a Full Metal Alchemist for the simple fact that, yeah, it has a lot of action, but this one has the more creative, weird hints of action that I do really enjoy in a lot of my series. So I tend to lean when it comes to action 2 different ways, depending on how I'm feeling. I tend to lean towards the more action, story driven, and then I tend to lean towards the more crazy, wacky type of action. So that's what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is encompassing here. It's the craziness, it's the wackiness. It's literally a bizarre adventure, pun intended. And the reason this earned the spot is because this goes to my taste that, yeah, it's action, it's shonen, it's amazing, it's fights, but it's creative. It has its own little personality, its own little flair, and that's what I lean towards as far as like my action. I like my more creative pops of personality, like with JoJo, but then like with Full Metal, I like more story-driven action. Don't get me wrong, I do love my just turn your brain off fights, but when it comes to the manga that I'm collecting and the volumes I have in my collection, these 2 series really represent like the different versions of action that I enjoy reading anyway. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has a very strong identity, right? But now we're going to take a more darker twist, and that's actually Dorohedoro. So with Dorohedoro, this makes it on my spot because it starts to showcase the world building. So I really do love world building in manga. For me, getting to actually know the world is actually very, very fun because I get to see the different power systems. I get to see like different ins and outs of what creates that world. And Dorohedoro is exactly that. The dark fantasy grunge just world of Dorohedoro was so amazing. I really did enjoy it. The world feels dark, it feels dirty. Even the artwork can represent that, right? But it also looks clean at the same time. Like the artwork is actually clean. Dorohedoro is one of those series where honestly, I just wanted to go in and live in this world for a little bit. I wanted to see what it's like to have these magical powers in this dark grunge world. I wanted to see everything. And that's really what kept me reading Dorohedoro. Not only was the story enticing for me, but it was actually everything else. It was the world and just seeing how messed up everything looks, but at the same time having the art be so clean. Especially when I started to move away from like the more just shonen battle action series, I wanted to get into something a little bit more atmospheric, and that's where Dorohedoro came in. Dorohedoro was one of the first series that I really just fell in love with the world itself versus the story. For me, Dorohedoro was one of those where the story kind of came second, the world is really what came first. And on that flip side of that coin, we have Dorohedoro that's, dark, grunge, gritty, dirty. And on the flip side, we have what's clean, polished, fantastical, and it's Witch Hat Atelier. So Witch Hat Atelier is actually the same thing with Dorohedoro. It's basically another version of the atmosphere, the world building. That's what I really enjoy about Witch Hat. More so with this over Dorohedoro because for me, the insane fantasy aspect of Witch Hat Atelier is so amazing. The power system, I really do and love it. And it's clean. The artwork is one of the best I've ever seen. It's so much fun, and that's why this encompasses my taste. So this makes the list because it shows my taste in fantasy. I'm normally not a big fan of fantasy, but Witch Hat Atelier completely blew me away. Witch Hat Atelier really represents that beautiful, fantastical artwork that I'm starting to come and really enjoy, and is actually breaking my mold a little bit. This is actually setting aside all of the more because I kind of preferred sci-fi. I'm more of a sci-fi versus a fantasy person just in general. But Witch Hat Atelier is actually making me really enjoy fantasy even more. So honestly, that's what this series encompasses. It encompasses my incredible taste that is leaning towards fantasy nowadays. And this is one of those heavy hitter series that honestly I just cannot wait to just finish because the artwork is amazing. The story, it just I don't even care about Coco. I don't care about all the curls. I don't care about the Kakashi, the sensei. Why I call him Kakashi, the sensei. I don't care about none of that. I care about reading the world, and that is probably what I enjoy most about this series and Dorohedoro is that I can basically take a step back from the story and just appreciate the world that the story is in. And when a series can make me do that, I really just have so much fun and I get more involved in it. Moving away to something that's more grounded, more day to day, it's actually Wotsukoi. So Wotsukoi, it's basically representing my love for rom-coms, honestly. My love for more slow-paced slice of life series. I've actually come to really enjoy that part of manga in general. I never even thought that was like a genre. I've always heard people say that but there is a manga series for everyone. You just have to find it. And when I started reading other things, something like What's Called Love is Hard for an Otaku, I actually began to believe that saying that wow, this is really a series that I was not expecting to enjoy because I up until this point the only slice of life I've ever read, I don't even think I've read any slice of life actually because I started with Wotsukoi with actually the anime. So before that, the first anime that I watched that was more slice of life was Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So that one led me into more slower paced slice of life stuff. But Wotsukoi, when I read the premise and I saw it on I saw the anime, and I something about it piqued my interest, and I watched it, loved it, so I decided to read it, and I fell in love with it even more. Especially being that it's more adult. It's a nice adult rom com. I really do enjoy. Cause I'll be honest, it's in my age range. I'm literally the same age. Actually, I'm a little younger. I look older. I'm a little younger than them, but I'm in that age range of Walter Coy and all of everyone of the cast. I'm in that age range, and it's so much fun to see just what a day-to-day life of just enjoying yourself, enjoying your hobbies, enjoying, video games, cosplay, manga, just enjoying that with the people that you care about. It's so much fun. It was such an eye-opening series for me that this encompasses my taste for like just slice of life rom-coms. And because of that, I actually just went and dove crazy into more slice of life rom-coms. If you've seen my collection, it all comes from Wotakoi. And the next series takes my more quieter taste and takes it even further. And that's actually Smoking Me on the Supermarket with You. So with this series, this encompasses the series that I really enjoy, that it's just, I use it to detach. That's what this series encompasses for me. Series like this and others that are similar to this for me anyway, I read it no matter what type of day I'm having. I immediately just, I take a breath and I immediately feel better. That's what I call, like, I call them my home remedy series. That's my term for it. It's series where no matter what is going on, you open it, even if it's a reread, you open the series and all the problems go away. Everything, like the noise, everything just silences, and you can just really be involved and really absorbed by the story, by the characters, by the world. And that's what Smoking Man Supermarket encompasses for me. Because I have a couple of those series, not more. I don't have as much as I would like. I'm still trying to find them. It's hard to find those type of series, but that nice quiet pace, this and Wash It All Away, those are my real two heavy hitters. That just anything that's going on, it's just nothing matters. Just me reading, being absorbed by that world. Smoking Behind the Supermarket is exactly what that is. And that's literally the meaning and why I have it in my collection. And that's what it encompasses, like the different series that all do that same thing for me. The next pick represents something a little bit different. It's shifting gears to my quieter series and is actually going into my gateway. So this is my gateway series, and what I mean by that is it got me from watching anime into reading manga, because up until this point I actually never read manga. I was never a manga reader growing up. That just wasn't me. I was hard into anime. I loved anime, but the only manga I had ever read was Seven Deadly Sins, and I read that. It's literally read it, and then that was it. I never touched manga again until I was just like chilling one day. I was like, you know what? I really want to try a physical series. Let me actually try and reading manga. Because at this point, I did start reading manga a little bit more digitally through the Shonen Jump app. But I was like, I want the book. I want to feel the volume. So I decided, what is that for? It's the series that started it all for me, Death Note. So I started, basically Death Note kind of started my entire manga journey. I picked up Death Note because Death Note is my favorite anime of all time. So I wanted to read my favorite anime to see if I even enjoy manga. So I read it, and I knew that there was some differences. I knew that the ending was different. So I wanted to check it out and see what it was. And that's what Death Note encompasses on this list. It's all of the series that I'll start watching the anime, I enjoy it, and then I was like, I gotta pick up the volumes. And it all started with Death Note. If I didn't pick up Death Note, I would not have a manga collection. That was the one series that was like, it's my favorite anime. I have to read it and let me try it out. And the last one I want to talk about is a series that is starting to represent something new, and that is Pluto. So Pluto is actually representing a lot of the newer series I'm starting to pick up. Series that I've always heard about, but I never gave it a try for whatever reason. And that's what Pluto is. Because I've always heard of Pluto. I've always heard of Naoki Urasawa. But I just never got around to trying it. But I picked up Pluto, and I I can't believe how much I really enjoyed this series. So at the time of recording this, I've actually finished all 8 volumes of Pluto, and wow, the entire series was just head to tails, just beginning to end. I enjoyed every page of this. I would not expect myself to enjoy it as much as I did, for the simple fact that it is a more slower paced series. What I like about it is that even though it is a more of a slow burn, like it really crawls to the mystery to find out what's going on. With Pluto, it moves fast enough because it's only 8 volumes. So that really helped. If Pluto was like 20 volumes, I probably would have just, I'm good. I probably would have passed on it. But it is my manga starter pack because it encompasses basically what I'm into now. Trying out newer series that I've always known about, but I just never wanted to touch them for whatever reason. That's what Pluto is, and that's actually going to break me out of my mold and actually get me into wanting to read even more. And that's my entire manga starter pack. So basically, if I was to give these 8 volumes to anyone, they would pretty much understand my entire taste in manga. They will understand my entire collection. They will understand what my collection is made out of. And honestly, it took me a while to pick this because I didn't really want to go with my favorite series. I wanted to go with series that really like encompass everything, that encompass multiple different stories, multiple different series. Like Pluto is representing the future. Like it's this one for now, but it's representing the future. Death Note, it represents every series, like things like Death Note, High Score Girl, where I watched the anime and I immediately, what a Psychopath, where I watched the anime, I immediately want to pick up the manga. So things like that, where each one of these series, it represents so many more. From these 8, it represents my entire collection of over 600, and that's impressive. I can't believe it. Really, I'm really proud that I was able to select these specific types of series because it really showcases my entire love for this hobby, entire love for collecting. I can't wait to try and do this maybe in a couple years and see how much my collection has changed, how much my tastes have changed. So that's gonna be really, really fun. But that's it for this video. So I just want to put this question out for y'all. If you had to make a manga starter pack of your taste in manga, what would that look like? It can be 5 series, it could be 8 series, it could be 3, whatever, however many you want to put in your manga starter pack. Definitely let me know down in the comments below. I would love to find out what is your taste in manga. And if you made this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea how much I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here and you like my content and you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so I post another video. Follow me on Twitter. Links gonna be in the description. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.